Hey, welcome back to Tuan channel. Today I would like to introduce you a special guest. It's coming from Orlando who tried to run for the um, Orange County mayor, and his name is Tony Sabb, and he will introduce himself to you in a few minutes now. So, Tony, can you introduce yourself?
Again, and Tuan, thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate this time. My name, as Tuan said, is Tony Sabb. I am running for Orange County, Florida mayor. I've been in the race for approximately 2.5 months at this point. Just to say a little bit about myself, I am a 25-year Army veteran, Colonel retired. I served in our nation's most significant conflicts in the last 3 decades: Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, as a commander in the company level and battalion level of Black Hawk assault helicopter units within the 101st Airborne Division. Um, I've served under great leaders like General Petraeus as his Secretary General of Staff in the 18th Airborne Corps. And I've also had the opportunity to work at NATO in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in Istanbul, Turkey, as the operations officer, as a colonel for the rapid deployment force of Turkish forces, which was a really interesting job there, working with all different countries and leadership in those countries.
Well, you have a very diverse background here. Very respect for everything that you have done for our country, and especially that you explore outside the U.S. with NATO and other area. It's very it's my pleasure to meet you today too.
Well, thanks, Tuan. And again, this platform that you're providing to the candidates is invaluable.
Well, thank you. So what made you want to run and
That's that's a question that always I'm asked. I would probably say that I am asked that question more than I'm asked any question since I've been on the campaign trail. And my reason is very personal. And I say personal because of the way and the path and direction that our country has been going in. Having worked in all these different countries and served my country, not only as a military officer, but also as a defense contractor for some very large corporations, I have had the opportunity to be in these challenging positions and under very stressful conditions in other countries, and lived in other countries where uh, your liberties are definitely restrained or restricted. And being in these different countries and living by their rules has made me appreciate my country so much.
you see, that's why I mean, we both understand how much we appreciate this country. I mean, our country. Like I'm come from another country, like you mentioned, you travel to different country, you explore, you see the experience, you see the challenge of different. I mean, in other country, our country here, we have a we is a country of opportunity and freedom and opportunity, and we lost this day by day now, and it's been happening for decades, and that's why I want to stand up. I want to do something for our country. I want to run for the Congress to make this country turn around because we know the value of it, and we understand exactly what we have to do for our country. And I think that you all will be the best candidate for to compete with the Orange County mayor right now because I you have a way much better background, and then you have very exposes to different country to different environment, and you involved with NATO. It's big deal because we want to bring opportunity and work with other country to bring business back to Orange County, and then that's really a big thing. City, I mean, Orange County should grateful to have somebody like you in the office. So, have you you say you mentioned that you also a contractor. I mean, work with a
Yeah.
contractor and
Juan, can I finish that point though? Because what I was doing was setting up giving the reason why I'm running. I
Okay.
didn't quite give it to you. What I did was I gave my background, but the reason why I'm running is
Okay.
because of what took place almost a year ago in Afghanistan, where our country made some very bad decisions in moving our forces out before we conducted non-combatant evacuation operations, NEO operations, we call them in the military. We in the military know how to do those operations flawlessly. We've done them numerous times in numerous countries. We made the decision to move our soldiers in force protection out of the country before we moved out American citizens. That's why you saw people hanging off of C-17 aircraft trying to get out of the country just to save their lives and their families' lives. The chaos that was involved in that was, for me, with those 13 soldiers that got killed, insulting. It was, I had a lot of anger inside me, and I also had a lot of worry for my country. So I realized at that point, I need to step up and run for office.
Yeah.
That's why.
See, at when you see that you mentioned about C-17 and people hanging off and stuff, is the same image that when the South Vietnam lost for the North Vietnam.
Yes.
A lot of people just
You're referring to the Tet Offensive?
well, I was born after the
Right.
war, so
Right.
I don't have as experience, but I see all my parents told me I have all the experience, and not my experience, but my parents told me all the experience that they have and they go through and suffer. But I do have experience live in under communism country, so that's why I mean that is a value that you bring it into to our country, that we exposed to that. You see what happened, what's going on, what happened when you lost a country, and what happened when you see your soldier, you know, struggle and stuff like that, and you know, all that is pushing you to work harder for this country
Yes.
than just be a soldier.
Yes.
I mean that's very great value. So you has mentioned my question
Yes.
earlier. You has mentioned that. So you working out with a contractor in,
Yeah.
in what field, in what area?
Thanks for asking that. Coming out of the military, it is not always easy for soldiers to land softly, you know, and find a job, because I got to still continue to support my family.
Yeah.
And after 25 years, I decided to retire in 2008. You know what was happening in 2008 with our economy.
Yeah.
We had gone into a tailspin, and we were in a recession.
Yeah.
Well, the jobs were not as plentiful as I thought they would be, and I wound up going over to Afghanistan and taking a defense contracting job with a company called NPRI, and worked in training commandos. Those were special operations forces. Worked in training commandos as part of the Afghanistan National Army. It was a great experience for me because I got to collaborate with the general officers in the Afghan Army, as well as in the American Army as a contractor. So it was a different type of flavor for me. And after that, I went to Saudi Arabia, lived there for 2 years under another company, and I worked in bringing the aviation of the Saudi Arabian National Guard into modernized aircraft like the Black Hawk, the
See,
Apache.
can I hold on for that
Sure.
right 1 second? See, Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
We should continue to keep a relationship with Saudi Arabia, because otherwise we don't have the problem that we have to deal right now in our country about gas increase so high, and we lost the relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
we
we should-
shouldn't
you're
have
so
that.
right.
This shouldn't happen. If this under Trump administration, we won't have this suffer. On top of that, we are energy independence, and now
We're now an importer.
they're imported. Yeah. So, but if we still have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia, we shouldn't have this kind of
That's
struggle.
correct. At least if we had that good relationship, Tuan, we
Yeah.
would at least be getting some oil from. They would increase their production of oil in the country. Right now, we are at such a shortage of oil all around the world.
Yeah.
That is what, of course, bringing the price of oil up.
Yeah.
If we did have that relationship, even though our president doesn't now want to open back up the federal lands for us to drill on, or the XL2 pipeline coming down from Canada, even if he doesn't want to do that, if he had good relations with Saudi Arabia,
Exactly.
they would gladly produce more oil.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his relationship with Iran and these deals that he's making is forcing the Saudis to protect themselves. That is why they are not assisting us.
Yeah, exactly. So, can you go ahead and continue with? I'm sorry, I cut you off. And continue with what you.
The Iran and
Yeah.
That right there, in my mind, is one of the most serious, potentially dangerous things that our federal government is doing right now in making relations with a country that is a terrorist state that we've already decided was, and having the Russians be mediating it. Imagine this, Tuan. We have the Russian government mediating a relationship of the United States and Iran, a terrorist country, on oil that we want to continue to buy from them, and on them coming back into the fold of the economic process of this world. So we are almost legitimizing a terrorist government through the Russians that just attacked the country unprovokingly. Imagine that. That would never happen. So you have countries like Saudi Arabia that are naturally concerned about that.
See, we have a candidate like you, Tony, to run into office as a candidate for Orange County mayor.
Yes, sir.
Is over. You are overqualified for the county and for the city, because with what you bring to the table, you have a military background, export to worldwide, different country. You get an experience from the third world country. Our enemy very well. You know what our economic very well, and especially that you transitioned from a soldier to a contractor, because right now our country needs somebody to innovation. We need innovation. We need more better technology to compete with China and Russia, because China is stealing our technology every day and has been stealing our technology for the last 20 years. So because of you have the experience of overseas, and you see everything that happened overseas, and how you transit from military to a contractor, that will a big values for our country.
You raise such a great point when you talk about the compromise of our intellectual property within this country. When I was in the military, as a senior officer and also as a contractor, we had to work under what was called ITAR. And what that, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the actual term of ITAR, but what it dealt with was the safeguarding of information coming from our country going into another country. If we were going to either sell something to them or train with them, everything that we went over into that country with, every object that came from a company, had to be scrutinized by the Department of State to ensure that it was not against ITAR regulations. My question is this, and it's rhetorical. Why is it that we have companies that build military equipment sharing intellectual property with a country like China?
You see, that is my big concern too, because I do cybersecurity work. If China manufacture a sensitive technology for military, if they manufacture, they can put any code inside a chipset, a EEPROM, that will trigger the system to open the back door. Because average people don't know that the operation system is the third layer or fourth layer of a system. You have to get the hardware startup, and you have to get a BIOS or EEPROM, a chipset to kick in to tell the computer what to do. And there's other application before the operation system to start to run. Now, think that we have to be careful is we have to about manufacture what we shouldn't manufacture in other countries, especially China, because almost everything that we are nowadays is made in China. And then government technology, because I work, I support, NASA, I work at Kennedy Space Center to support NASA, and I work for Lockheed Martin to support FBM ballistic missile. A lot of equipment and motherboard and part that come from China. And that is what happened, the problem that we're going to deal, because our enemy build technology for us. If we are getting a battle with China, they can control our technology. So I'm happy that you see all that and you have a vision of that. And can you tell me more of your experience? What do you think about the what we should do with manufacture technology? And
Well, obviously, I don't think that the leadership, and I'm now talking about Congress, I'm also talking about Senate, is doing everything that they should be doing in safeguarding America. And by that I mean China has an incredible lobbying group in Washington. This lobbying group, Tuan, is designed around cozying up to our politicians, our senators, our congressmen, and I mean on both sides of the aisle, and also cozying up to their offspring. By that I mean their sons and their daughters. And if you read any books by Peter Schweitzer, he will tell you in those books that we have a serious problem that is happening at the congressional level and the Senate level, where we have absolutely sold out to China. All rulings, all laws, all statutes that come out of Congress have a tail on them that says China.
See, that's what I want to hear from you.
Okay.
That is what I want to hear from you, because you see the lobbyists and then the Congress and the senator should do something.
Absolutely.
Should do something, because I know China is lobbyists. Like China has lobbyists in America for the last 40 years, 30 years. Since the door is open, China start to lobbyist. They lobbyist many Congress. They corrupt America. They lobbyists, because the fact is, a lot of people don't know, or they might not share. But I'm going to share it. I'm going to share the information. The day that I say I'm running for Congress, so many Chinese female try to add friend with me. I had no Chinese friend except for one or two, because we're going to college together.
What do you suggest?
What I'm trying to tell you is, they will lobbyist either pretty girl, money, accessory, thing like that. It depends on the target.
You must call Congressman Swalwell and tell him what to do about something like that.
Yeah. So that's why I want to see what's going on. I mean, if I open my Facebook like request friend, you can see a list of Chinese female.
Wow.
Yeah. So now my point is, first they try to ask friend with me. Offer, lobbyist. Try, if I win, connect with me. Now imagine. I'm a little bit straightforward here. Imagine a lot of Asian, when they look at other culture, is attractive to them. A lot of white or black or or Hispanic got men, when they see Asian, is attractive.
Okay.
So because of China is good with using female to get a relationship, and then business, and then money. So if I am honored to be selected for a Congress, I will try every way to stop it. And we have to stop that happen, because
we need people like you in congressional seats, because you know from whence you come.
Yeah.
You know the culture. and you are a true American, and you want to protect America's interests.
If you watch if people watch a Rush Hour from the movie Rush Hour, Rush
Yes.
Hour, see that when they went to China, they have a lock of girl and stuff like that, and that is how China tried to lobbyists to American and congressmen, or if it's a female, they will send all the good like business, money, jewelry, and things like that.
Well, listen,
So
Tuan, it is no mistake, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to make sure I get this idea to you. It is no mistake that people like me that are veterans recognize this. You have never seen in our country, in the history of our country, so many veterans running for office simultaneously. There's a reason for that.
yeah,
We're on a wrong trajectory.
yeah,
Our country is in danger.
yeah. I mean, we are so now China is lobbyists by many directions that they can. They steal our technology, influence communism. So that's why it's a time for us to take over the office in any position, from city councilor to education, mayor, city mayor, state senator, state house. I mean, Congress, all different levels have to clean. I call it clean the house. President Trump is drain the swamp. We have to clean the house. We have to go in. Everybody fresh, and we know exactly what China doing, what people from all this overseas doing. So I'm in I class that you are running to the office, in Orlando. So now, can you tell me a little bit, like, do you have a business background or something like that, or involved with any business?
My background is primarily leadership and also business management. Working in these corporations as program manager, I was in charge of budgets that were for instance, the position that I held over in Saudi Arabia was a $16 million budget that initially it has grown to over $240 million budget for the Saudi Arabian National Guard, as those aircraft were purchased under the Foreign Military Sales contract from the United States. I was a part of the process of bringing those aircraft over to Saudi Arabia for their safekeeping, and making sure that the Saudi Arabian government and their military were well kept informed of every shipment, all the training that had to take place. They have built an entire training facility over there that rivals anything in this country. And there's no other country that does training on rotary wing aircraft like the United States. Saudi Arabia has come close.
See, so Tony had a diverse background from military, contractor, and management money, like millions of dollars. So he's the guy to he's one of the best guy to select for the office at the mayor in Orange County, because he had done a higher scale level of management, business, money, transition, military, understand overseas, deal with NATO. He know what to do. So if you are watching this or in Orlando, and want to know more about Tony, you can go to his website. And can you tell me about the website?
That's TonySabbForMayor.com.
Okay. So you have a Facebook, anything?
I do. I have Facebook. I believe if you go to TonySabbForMayor.com, it will direct you over to my Facebook as well.
Yeah. So you can support him right now by donate money to his campaign, because every candidate need
Thank
money.
you, sir.
Every candidate need money. So I know. I mean, I'm running around looking for money too.
Thank
So if you're in Orlando, support Tony by follow him, volunteer, donate, and support whatever you can. Tell other people about him. I think he's is one of the best candidate to again the bad he's the best. I mean, one of the best candidates to again the Democrat. you know,
I know what you mean.
on the policy that they have, because he know exactly what he have to do. So can you tell me a little bit more about your vision of what you're gonna do
Sure,
if you win?
sure. And thank you for asking. First of all, let me go. I'm going to start at the end and then work my way towards the beginning. I just read in the paper the comments that Governor Santis made on Reedy Creek. If for those listeners that have not been able to see that, it was in the Orlando Sentinel, and I knew that he would be leaning this way. What he said was this: Reedy Creek will not be turned over to the local government, meaning it will not be turned over to Orange County or Osceola County. It is going to be in the possession of the government and the governor and the state of Florida. That means that he also said it will not levy any additional taxes on the Orange County or Osceola County, for that matter, taxes. Done. Not going to happen. He said that, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I read the article, didn't have time to memorize it. He also said that the taxes that are owed by Disney would have to be paid by Disney. Now, I don't know how that will happen. I do know, though, that with the state of Florida now taking this on, it relieves some of the stress from our residents that thought that this was the wrong decision. He definitely also said that he would leave, he would no longer support Disney having hegemonic control of their corporation and running things like a small town. No other corporation has that. They're not going to have it. So that's a done deal. Reedy Creek is over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do I plan to do? First of all, when I come in, as we're going through office, I am begging people not to vote for this 1 penny tax, as the current administration calls it. It's a 1% tax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm begging people not to vote for it, because I say not to vote for it because the current administration was successful in getting it on the ballot, 3-4. They got it on the ballot. So now as I campaign, I am impressing upon people, please do not vote for this 1% tax. I certainly don't support it. I think that with an 8.3% inflation, our residents are already being taxed, Tuan.
Yes.
We're already being taxed.
Yes.
So I'm definitely against that.
See, we have to make our economic grow. We have to increase small business and manufacture in Orlando, for me, in America. We cannot ask more tax to the business or the residential, because if the tax is too high, people don't want to do business.
That's right.
They don't want to do anymore, because by the end of the day, they don't have any profit. So what the point of doing a business? Because if you want a business to grow, you have to cut the tax. Like,
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you have to cut the tax.
Absolutely.
So that's why you have to bring the tax down. We're not gonna vote for that 1%.
This current administration has flooded, and I'm now on a national level. The current presidential administration has flooded the market with money, dollars. They have written so many notes that our value of the dollar is we're losing value in our money every single day because of the money that has been printed over the past year.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve is now going to have to start really raising interest rates. And as they raise those interest rates, that's going to further degrade the confidence, the consumer confidence. And we are a consumer-driven economy. And once that starts happening, I'm afraid that we're going to go into a recession.
Yeah, I mean, I see that, because look at the minimum labor rate is increased. Like 2020 is the minimum wage is a something, a 75. 1 year later, the minimum wage is $10. Now, wow, people don't, because the government is driven people, and then they think they increase the minimum wage is awesome, but it's totally wrong. The $75 minimum wage to $10 is almost 20% increase. Imagine if you get a $75 to $10, close to 20% increase for a small amount. Now, if your rent is $875, now it's increased 20%. You don't make any money.
Exactly.
You don't make any money.
Doesn't
You
matter
lost
how
the
much-
money.
Exactly.
You lost the money. Now you people used to pay a rent for apartment for what studio whatever $875, and now they have to pay $1,000. That 20% increase.
It's not keeping up with inflation.
That 20% increase inflation of high dollar is bigger
Correct.
than the minimum wage. Now, that's why you want more job. Why you want more job? Because when you have more job available, business owner, company, manufacturer, they will try to pay you more to bring you on board. Because
2 years ago, inflation in our country was 1.2 or 3%.
Yeah.
Today it's 8.3 or 4%.
exactly. And then food shortage, food increase, food cost increase, rent increase. Who is the one suffer? The working
Middle-
class.
Middle class.
The middle class and working people, they are suffering right now to looking for an apartment to live, to looking for a place to stay. Even now, that increase until 2026.
That's right.
It's continued to increase until 2026 because it's $1 every year. Now, who will love to see Florida increase? California. Because they don't want manufacturer come to Florida. Because if a manufacturer come to Florida, they screw.
Well, listen.
Because that's a Democrat state.
I think that's a terrible strategy on their side because right now there are more businesses leaving the state of California and coming to Florida and the state of Texas than any other state in our union. They are moving out their middle class and they're being left with a very, very large upper class of folk and a homeless people.
Yes.
And very, very lower class.
Yes.
In income.
Yeah.
Now, this is the way they've engineered their government with a very, very high number of Democrats running their government. This is the way they've done it. I don't believe that California can continue to go in this direction and not completely collapse economically.
20 years ago, I would visit San Francisco. It's nice and pretty. What happened now? Homeless everywhere. It's so sad to see a beautiful city that went from pretty to homeless. Now, because you see that image of travel in different city across our country and globally, I believe that you will make Orlando better, Orange County better.
Absolutely. Well,
Because
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you see that.
Yes.
You witness all that.
Yes. My job as mayor is to try to insulate Orange County residents from what is happening at the federal level. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, I don't know if the listeners know this, but next week Title 42 ends.
Mm-hmm.
And when Title 40, and by the way, our president won't be in the country when it does. Just want to point that out. When it does end, they are expecting 18,000 people coming across that border every day. Now, I want to make sure people understand that number. The people right now in Texas, Arizona, California, mostly those states are suffering. They are suffering at the yoke of our government, allowing these people to come into the backyards of American citizens and completely take over their police departments. In other words, they can't even enforce law because they're too busy trying to keep the immigration, the lack of immigration, and the high number of people coming into their towns out.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, they are expecting a high number of them to come to the state of Florida. This is serious.
Yeah.
And this is why I go back to what you said about my knowledge and my sensitivity to protecting Orange County citizens. As a mayor, I have to do my part to protect our citizens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My job is to protect our residents and our taxpayers from this. That's my job.
Yeah.
It was my job to protect my soldiers as a commander.
Yeah.
It's my job to protect Orange County residents and citizens from
That's
this.
that's what I like to hear from you. Your job as a commander, you have to protect your soldier. Your job, if you been selected for mayor, to protect the citizen.
Yes.
That is a good message for the people. So people in Orlando who watching these videos, or you have family and friends in Orlando, share these videos, because Tony and we have a discussion today. It's not an interview, it's a discussion. He'd have no idea what the question is. He have no idea what I'm gonna ask him today. So everything that he say is from his heart to you. What his vision, what he want to do, what's his plan, who he is. And I think as of right now, Tony is one of the good candidate and will be a good mayor for Orange County. Now, Tony.
Yes, sir.
What do you see of a small business in Orlando?
I have a great affinity for small business. I unfortunately never had one, but I have always admired people that have. Let me tell you why. I don't know if people understand this, but it is small businesses that run this country. It is small businesses that provide the income for the majority of the population of this country. People need to understand that. It's not Disney. It's not Lockheed, although they do their part. It is small businesses that do the majority of providing work for our citizens in this country. Now, that's just facts.
That's why I say small business is a front line for our country. You see, when doing it, I call COVID a China virus, and I mean doing a China virus, a lot of small business still running, open the door, like restaurant, open the door for to take a risk, to provide the service, to provide the food, and other people fighting for this country as a small business. Now,
Tuan, we did just I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to stay with that thought. We did just the opposite than what we should have done when this pandemic hit. We should have left the community small businesses open, because they do exactly what you said. If I had been mayor, I would have left them open, because they would have helped the community, because it helps them.
yeah,
Why would we have shut them down?
Yeah.
Some of them lost their livelihoods in this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get a little passionate about this, because these great Americans spent their life savings on these businesses. And
so that what I want to see from you, because you don't have a small business background, but that is the energy that I want to see. That's the energy I want to see, because small business is driven this country. And then now, because you mentioned Lockheed Martin needs a small business as a subcontract as well. We don't want to send business overseas. We don't want to ship business. We don't want to contract or get work on overseas for Lockheed Martin, because they are provided technology for military. Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop Grumman, this company is provide the technology for military. Small business is a part of the corporation to bring the economic back. And I class as you see that you mean all the small business at the front line. And now, do you have any message you want to share to everybody, or do you want to say anything else that you want people to know about?
the only thing that I'll tell people is this: I'm 61 years old, Tuan. I never thought that at this point in my life I would be sitting here telling you that I'm running for mayor of anything. running for office for anything. My reason for doing this is because of love of country. And I don't like to see citizens and residents being taken advantage of, and standing by and just watching it happen. If I'm going to complain about it, I can do something about it. I know how to do something about it. I come with a set of very special skills that I learned while I serve my country. And it's called caring about people and leadership. And that's what I want to bring to Orange County.
All right, I have this very tricky question for you before I let you go, but this question is important. Why you think you will do better than a current mayor?
I think I'll do better than the current mayor for one reason. Listen. I listen to people. I go out and listen. And I am a public servant. They don't serve me. I serve them. It would seem to me that our current administration doesn't understand that. I'm just going to listen. And I'm going to support my constituents. I'm going to support the residents of this county the best way I know how, by taking care of them.
See, listen is a very important to get in office, because I has my own experience before I run into office. It's one of the many reasons that's why I want to run into the office too, because some leadership who in the office don't listen. When I have problem, I reach out to them. Not one, many. They ignore me.
Wow.
So they don't even listen to story or what problem that I want them to know. And the problem I want to share is not just only for me. It's for other business as well. For other people as well. But they ignore it. Now, during the time I'm running for Congress, I talk to different people. And I know that the current city mayor in Orlando, he did not keep his promise to a lot of people that he promised before he get into the office.
Wow.
And he don't listen to the people who support him before he get into the office. That message is directly coming to me from the voter, not from me. Now, when you say listen, you get it. You get it, Tony. You want to listen to from everybody. For all the citizens. It doesn't matter the people who vote for you, who don't vote for you. That's very important. That's how you're going to change. You don't do something. All you need is just one thing, and listen.
You can't be a leader if you don't listen.
Yeah.
I've learned that.
So, hi, everyone. If you are watching these videos, anywhere in a country, you have a friend and family who live in Orlando and would like to support Tony. I mean, even you live outside Orlando, it doesn't matter. You live anywhere. If you are American and you think Tony is a good leadership to support for him, you can donate for him. Anywhere in America. If you have to have U.S. citizenship and a green card. You cannot be illegal immigrant to donate. That doesn't work. So if you love him, you want him to get in the office to listen to your problem and solve the problem, vote for him and support him. And Tony, he's working hard to fight for the people. So give him an opportunity, listen to his story. He's here today, and I will invite him come back another day. And again, every candidate come to my channel, they do not know what the question before they come here. All I tell them is, don't worry, I'm not gonna give you a hard time, but there's some question I know is a little bit tricky too. I know that, but I want them to tell you from their heart, send you a message from what they think of why they run in office for. So Tony is one of the good candidate, the best candidate to for you to think about and then give him an opportunity to listen to his message and listen to, follow him on Facebook, Twitter. If you have any Twitter?
I do.
Okay, follow him, so he can bring the message directly to you. Tony, thank you very much for being here today. And
Thank you for
now
having me.
tell me again about your website, how they can donate the money to you, and their address and information.
Sure. If you go to TonySabbForMayor.com, as soon as you go on the website, there is a place for you to donate. And please understand the way it is designed, it starts at $250. If you can't donate that, you can donate any lesser denomination that's within your means to do. I would just appreciate your support and thank you for giving me a shot at this.
If you're thinking about, okay, 200, how much?
250.
250, well, it's too much. Think about this. If you can donate him, if you can pay for him a cup of coffee, a sandwich, that's worth too. Because if he have 100 or 1,000 sandwich, he gets something too. So, if you think you can get him a lunch, hey, let me get him a lunch, or instead of you invite him to a lunch, just donate him. Like how much the lunch it costs. If you love him more, then give him, donate him. Not donate, but like pay for him for his dinner, a $20 or $30 dinner meal. Thing like that, and that will help his campaign. And if you love him, donate him $250. And it's very important to support and donate for a candidate to continue to fight for the people, who live in Orlando right now, because it's time for us to clean the house. And Orlando is become one of the top 10 criminal in the country as well. So we have to reduce that. And because his background as a military and soldier, he know what to do to make a city safer and grow the economic. And he's been management with the big amount of government dollar and contract dollar, so he know what to do with the dollar. And his policy, I think, will help Orlando and Orange County to grow and to better direction. Please, again, vote and support Tony. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.